Hi everybody, this is a black and red Arcane Bombardment deck. We've got our spells to control the early game, Bombardment to take over in the late game, and one copy of Corrupt to finish our opponents off. We're running a few copies of Beseech the Mirror to go and find Corrupt when we're ready for it, and then of course Bombardment can get Corrupt back for us in the right situation. Let's go see a few games with this deck over on the ranked standard ladder and see if we can corrupt anybody out of the game. Alright. Let's give this a try here. Looking like an okay opener. I think I would like another mountain if possible, but it's probably fine. We've at least got Go for the Throat and Play with Fire capability. Yeah, let's give it a try. Been really wanting to corrupt some people lately. Fire off a big burn spell. Gain some life. Repeatedly do it with Bombardment. But oh, Weatherlight completed. What was I saying? At any rate, when trying to build this deck previously, an older version had many copies of Corrupt, and we're kind of switching it up here with just the one since we've got Beseech here. Opponent attacking with a Forge token. Let's go ahead and scry. All right. Would love the second red so we can take care of these artifacts. Opponent doing some good scrying over there. There we go. Geothermal Bog. It's red, but it's slow. So hopefully if we can get our opponent to play a couple of artifacts to the board, sweep up everything. Oh, Vron. All right. Well, speaking of guaranteed sacrifices, we get some extra damage there. Let's go ahead and Sheoldred's Edict now, before they get the chance to sacrifice the token. They do get another Weatherlight trigger, but that is okay. Just trying to buy us a little time here. So if we can sweep up these artifacts, shouldn't be any creatures left over. And we can do that before the Weatherlight even transforms here. So, all right, let's go Brotherhood's End on artifacts. Gets rid of those two. Kind of a nasty combination. We're kind of lucky Ob Nixilis didn't come down at some point in that whole chain. Okay. I wasn't telling you to summon Ob Nixilis from your deck, but... all right. Go for the Throats in hand, plus Beseech. We're one away from Bombardment. Can't really bargain anything, but I think it's worth going to search anyway. Get this in our graveyard. If we're going to start bombarding soon, might make sense. All right, so what do we get? Chandra kind of tempting. Let's go for Chandra. So Chandra can both deal with a board and start finding us more things to do, which we might end up needing with Bombardment. Aside from this devil, if our opponent has artifact creatures, we're not going to have many good targets for that spell, and so might need to go digging for some stuff off the top. Of course, all this assumes that we draw a land. Going to decline that. Opponent attacks. All right, there's Corrupt. We've got all of our 6-mana stuff. Probably going to end up go for the throating this devil here. Let's see. Can we discard? Yeah, I think so. It kind of gives away our plan, but I don't think there's that much this opponent can do about it. If I were building this deck, I probably wouldn't have artifact removal in there. Okay, so Lightning Strike then. Ob Nixilis a little ways off from kind of the ultimate ability that it's got. Opponent asks us for the discard. Well, this time I'm going to say yes. We're at 10. We still have things to activate Bombardment with, although it's going to be dicey. I think we still need to lean on. There we go. Although, with Ob at 5. All right, tell you what. Let's go Arcane Bombardment. So the idea here is we know we can afford the Corrupt since we're not casting this off of treasures. We can just hard cast Corrupt. Opponent asks us to discard. I guess we're going to discard Lightning Strike because I'm assuming this Devil's going to be here. Mishra. Wow. Everything has ward. Sacrifice a permanent. Huh. Yeah, that's a new wrinkle. Haven't really faced that card in Standard here. So our only permanents are Bombardment and our lands. So I think what we do, ask our opponent to sacrifice. They choose the Devil. Makes a lot of sense. Now we target Mishra. And we sacrifice Lily so that we know we can corrupt next turn. Bombardment finds us Lightning Strike. Great. Just throw that at our opponent. Excellent. All right. Opponent makes a Devil with Obnixilis. Ooh. Invasion comes down, hits us a little bit. We get Extract the Truth off the top. Is it Corrupt time? Yeah, it might be. Let's hit Obnixilis. He's kind of annoying. Get Corrupt into the grave so that we can hopefully start pulling it up into Bombardment, reusing it a couple of extra times. Although I will say, this burn is nothing to sneeze at. Let's shoot the Devil down with a Play with Fire, point the other Lightning Strike at our opponent. And we are set to gain 6 from this. That'll put us back up to 12. Great. All right, Proving Ground draw. Let's try for Chandra here. So Chandra can give us a little bit of mana. Go red and black. Let's Extract the Truth. Opponent's holding on to a lot of cards, and I would love to know what's going on over there. Chandra's going to copy that. Nothing to choose. Huh. Okay. Well, let's go for... we get a Beseech off the Bombardment. And we'll, of course, fire off this burn, get some scries on, get some burns on. Ooh, keep that Virtue on the top. Although, we're Beseeching. It's not, that's going to go away anyway. All right, what do we get? Yeah, we do kind of need cards. Let's take Big Score, because that's wonderful to copy with Chandra. Still nothing to take from our opponent. Abrade actually can't touch Chandra. But the Annihilating Glare can, so... well, it was good while it lasted. Big Score, anyway, can activate Bombardment, get itself into the grave for later. Brotherhood's End, a good pickup if we see any more artifacts or small creatures. Let's fire off some burn here. All right. Feels like it's starting to come together. We'll scry, but that doesn't matter because my ordering is messed up. Let's go taking a look here. I think there's more burn at this point. It's a spell. Lets us play on our opponent's turn. Keep activating Bombardment. Of course, we get Sheoldred's Edict and an Obliterator off the top. There's a Forge, but we've already got Brotherhood's End under Bombardment, so that's not going to do much for the rest of the game. All right, well, let's Lightning Strike that. Bombardment happens. We're going to point a Corrupt at our opponent. Lightning Strike at our opponent. And that should wrap it up there. Good game. All right. Well, a little slow there. This looks better. Put back a Big Score. Tricky mulliganing with this deck. We've got some early plays, but not that many. And of course, all of our red mana comes into play tapped. So I think we've got like 14 swamps in here. Yeah, let's ditch the play with fire. If this is discard, that's not going to really be too helpful. Play out Proving Ground. Sheoldred, if we play her, probably not going to survive very long, but a good distraction nonetheless. I think the goal, probably big score, if I had to say. Ooh, Phyrexian Arena, keeping our opponent in the action. All right, let's pass. The other tricky thing about playing all these tap lands with Bombardment is you kind of got to time them right. Play into your top decks so that you can cast Bombardment when you want to and you're not stuck with a tap land. Lily comes down, asks for the discard. Yeah, I'm actually going to get rid of Sheoldred here. We're going to big score. No, we're discarding a mountain, or a Proving Ground. We get a lounge off the top and find Bombardment. All right, well, that's pretty great right there. That's exactly what we're looking for. So now we just need to find some spells, but the opponent doesn't know that yet. Okay. So the Witch Saga comes down. Lily asks for the discard once again. Let's go for the Swamp. We've already got Bombardment down. Don't need to worry about hitting 6. We've already got 6 for Corrupt. Let's cycle this Lounge. Try to get a spell here. Brotherhood's End. And we've got Big Score and Play with Fire in the Grave. All right, let's Brotherhood's End. Let's do damage. Would love to get rid of Liliana and start building our hand back up again. And then we can cast Play with Fire anyway on her. Probably should have pointed that at our opponent, but it's all right. Time for more coffee. Witch's Vanity goes off. Opponent having a good think there. Another Liliana. Oh, I was hoping to have this Virtue help us out a little bit here with its spell portion, but we just have to discard it. Geothermal Bog, the draw. Oh, this could be bad. All right, asks for the discard. Looks like just trying to build up Liliana here. Goes a scrying with the Nightmare. I mean, opponent's deck doing what it needs to do despite not having a huge amount of lands. And they've been drawing with Phyrexian Arena. All right, we draw Lightning Strike. Let's point that at Lily. Play with Fire. Also point that at Lily. Finish her off. No cards left to discard to the Big Score, unfortunately. Usually the Big Score can dig us out of these scenarios, but opponents kept us so low on cards. Okay, Iron Crag. Usually that comes with a Sheoldred. No, they just pass it back. Okay, that's good. Let's keep this swamp for now. Hopefully we can hold on to it. Would be great if we could draw a spell and discard this to Big Score. All right, opponent with all of the mana artifacts. Celestus coming into play. Oh, it is not time for one of the Sheoldreds. We see Sorin. Makes a vampire. All right, Celestus, not great, but could enable some card draw here. Let's pass. Opponent's starting to build up a board. There we go. All right, so we're seeing some Super Friends kind of action here. Ashiok comes in, makes some tokens. Sorin draws them a swamp. We really need to find some spells now. At least we're sitting comfortably at 18, but the opponent's building up at least like a 3-card advantage every turn with what they've got going on now. Okay, go for the throat. It's not great. but it should do. Let's go for the throat on the vampire, which will trigger bombardment. We know we've got a big score tucked in there. Ooh, and Brotherhood's End on top of that too. All right, well, we know we want to do that. Let's do that on damage. We'll discard this swamp. Thank you for your service. We'll play with fire at the opponent's face. Don't need another land. Oh, good. More instants. Okay. All right, we might be back in this. So Planeswalkers down, tokens out of the picture. Phyrexian Arena brings them to 12. Full grip of cards over there. Second Mirrex. Rankle's Prank asks us to discard 2. I don't know if there's a good way we can get around this, so let's just go for big score. Let's see. Yeah, unfortunately, we got to discard. If we discard, we're not going to have anything for the second big score. But that... And so we'll have to discard everything anyway. That might just have to be the way it is. All right, let's see what we get. Okay. So, play with fire. I'm going to point that at our opponent. Brotherhood's End. Do we dare? I think we're going to pass for now. Brotherhood's End on the top. It is a spell, but I think we can do better. We've got the Celestus for a redraw. Oh, and big score. Was counting on you to save me, big score. All right, we get 2 lands. Can cycle one of them, but they are both going away, so it doesn't matter. All right, opponent activates the Celestus, which activates our Celestus, forces us to discard an extra big score off the top. Oh, and we draw a big score. All right, we got to pitch this to the Celestus. Can't cast it on its own since we have no other cards in hand. Ugh. Swamp the draw. Let's discard that. Celestus happens again. Let's take the action. Okay, play with fire. Now let's ditch big score. Play with fire can be played with no restrictions. But we are still a card short for the big score hiding under bombardment. All right, opponent got plenty of mana. What do you got for us now? Hopeless Nightmare. Let's let that hit the board. Trigger goes on the stack. Play with fire in response. Activate bombardment. Okay. Let's go play with fire then to the opponent's face from bombardment. Yeah, let's still decline. I kind of want to keep my Celestus around, even though I know our opponent is also getting some advantage out of it. I'm going to go for the throat back because it doesn't have any targets. Even if... Ooh. We'll keep the Beseech the Mirror tucked away safely on the top of our deck. So if our opponent's doing anything, they're making Mirrex tokens, and we can't hit that with go for the throat. Scries 1 to the top off of the Nightmare. Activates the Celestus. Oh, good. We can decline that. Okay. Was worried that would force us to draw Beseech and discard it, but it is a choice. It is a choice. Okay, we've got Beseech. All right, what is the best path to get through this here? Let's just go regular Beseech. No bargain. We get play with fire, and decline Brotherhood's End. No thank you to the swamp off the top. These scries don't really mean much anyway. And so we've got 5 damage left on the opponent's life total. Beseech can go find us Corrupt. And we should have Just enough mana to cast Corrupt for the win. Oh, man. Any last-minute life gain effects? Opponent's eating some food. That could do it. They're at 2. Oh. The food that they created in like the first 2 turns of this game. And now the Celestus going to gain them some more life. Oh, I thought we had them there for a second. All right, this should do it. I think we've got enough burn under here. We just needed 1 spell. We can Sheoldred's Edict even with no targets. It just asks yes, and they give it up. Okay, good game. All right. Well, we've got 2 red sources in hand. I think especially if we're against an aggro deck, this should be all right. Opponent with a red and white land goes for Monastery Swiftspear. Hits us for 1. There's a Chandra off the top. All right, got to play our slow tap lands here. Opponent with a Reckless Impulse activates the Monk. Hits us for 2. Looks like opponent also playing Chandra over there, although they're a ways off. All right, let's do Virtue. No, let's do Play with Fire. Virtue can hit something slightly larger, even if we're stuck with a tap land next turn. Pia Nalar, you say? Okay. Well, I think I've faced this deck a couple of times before. Let's go Virtue on Pia. That eliminates her. Brings us back to 19. Mishra's research desk. About as cluttered as my desk. A second copy. All right, swamp the draw for us. Well, we're kind of in big score land. I don't think it's quite worth it right now to do Brotherhood's End and get rid of these desks, since the opponent's pretty free to just sacrifice them. All right, well, yeah, let's just pass. Opponent's not playing blue, so we don't need to worry about them countering our big score. We can wait. Give them as little information as possible. All right. Opponent's got 5th land. Virtue of Loyalty. Going to make a token. Ooh, and Wedding Announcement. Okay. Well, they've got enough mana to cast the Virtue next turn. Let's go for the big score. Let's put Brotherhood's End away for the moment. Wedding Announcement makes a token. We draw Beseech the Mirror. All right. Well, let's go for Chandra here. She can help control the board, and then hopefully we can gain a little bit of advantage off of her in the coming turns. We're going to add some mana and go double Lightning Strike. Take care of these creatures, and then we'll have a Play with Fire on our opponent's turn if we need to clear off any more creatures. So if Pia comes back, we might have to point both of these at her, but for Virtue of Loyalty's sake, if we can just keep creatures off the board, then it doesn't really matter if Virtue's sticking around so much. Yes, that is fine. We'll pass. Yeah, let's pass again. Opponent makes a token. So now, before it gets counters, let's put Play with Fire on that. And 1 copy at the opponent. Get the free Scry. And take care of that before it gets too big. Another copy of Beseech. Well, it would be... We would get 2 copies of that. All right, let's play Xander's Lounge. Beseech. Hold on. Let's make sure we use this mana here. Let's go black and red. What the heck? Regular Beseech. So we've got 3 mana left for something on our opponent's turn. Let's get Bombardment as one of the cards. Second Beseech happens. Let's get Corrupt. And so if we can start looping these Corrupts around, that'll both get us out of range, control the board, and maybe just burn our opponent out if we can make it that far. Opponent goes for the research desk again. Finds Virtue. Makes a token. All right, so builds up a little board. We get another Beseech the Mirror off the top here. Well, it's... yeah, it's not quite enough, but we're going to double up a Corrupt with Chandra here. Gotta go for it. All right, so we've hit our opponent for 12 damage off a Corrupt, and Chandra should be able to finish it off. Any last-minute life gain effects? Opponent's got a Questing Druid taking a look off the top, but that is not enough. Good game. All right. Well, love to see Bombardment in an opener. We've got the mana for play with fire. Let's go for it. Put down our Xander's Lounge. I do love that the flavor team from Wizards now gets to incorporate the saxophone into the Magic the Gathering multiverse. Let's play out the swamp here. We've got Go for the Throat. Would love to be able to get rid of this Ronin. Ronin, deceptively good creature against control decks. It's just super annoying to have to deal with it at instant speed, but luckily we've got the play with fire here. Ooh, Lightning Strike off the top. Man, deck, if you keep the lands coming, we're going to be in business. Going to need that second red at some point, although we do have big score. Phoenix Chick coming over for the attack. We're just going to let that hit us in case they've got something better coming on the backside. No, they do not. I'll tell you what. Let's play with fire our opponent's face. See what's hiding on the top here. Oh, that's tempting. Kind of got to put Sheoldred away. We can go looking for her with Beseech the Mirror. Although she is great against mono red. We really desperately need the lands here. Opponent with another Ronin. All right. Well, this time, let's do Lightning Strike on the Ronin. Phoenix Chick, probably going to be the last thing we target. And they pass it on back. What else is hiding in that hand, I wonder? All right, well, we've got a land, but it's a tap land, so we're a turn delayed from big score, where we would normally be. All right, I was worried about that. Is it the all burn hand remaining? Opponent hits the play with fire, puts one on the bottom at least. Okay, up to 5 mana. Well, it could be they're saving all the burn until we get low. Could be some lands. All right. Well, let's play out our lounge. Now we've got time to big score. Would love to pick up, if we can get a swamp off of this big score, we might be able to go Bombardment and activate immediately. If we live that long, opponent's got Lightning Strike bringing us to 9. Yeah, that might have been some lands in that hand. You never know. Okay, opponent brings us to 8. Big score. We're going to discard 1, Go for the Throat. Ooh, we get Chandra and a Swamp. And Liliana, which is fine. I think Bombardment's still the best thing here. Yep, a lot of spells down in the graveyard. Spells that are great versus our opponent. So we're going to pass it on over here. Plan to go for the throat something on their turn. Lightning Strike bringing us to 5. Okay. Oh, Stormseeker. All right. Let's see what we do here. Goes to combat. Okay, luckily they put it on the Seeker. I was going to say we should have done this before combat. But I didn't catch that. All right, Bombardment activates. Blazing Crescendo on the Phoenix chick. But we get Play with Fire. That's just enough to take out the chick. Go for the Throat gets the Stormseeker. All right, we're kind of stable at 5. No spells to activate Bombardment. That spell in their hand is not actually in their hand, so Lily can't take care of that. We could do Celestus and gain a life. I think that's our best play, actually. Yeah, we'll take action. Oh, there's Corrupt. All right, goodbye, Liliana. We know what we're doing now. Okay. Oh, we didn't even get a chance to do it. All right, good game. All right, let's keep this. So because every land in this deck is a swamp, I did include one copy of Obliterator, and here it is in our opening hand. The idea here is that we can beseech for whatever we want. Usually Sheoldred, but against red decks, I wanted a copy of Obliterator to just be able to pull out and frustrate them with. Not sure what our opponents... Oh, Simic, okay. Let's use this Thrill of Possibility then. Discard Brotherhood's End, since they haven't played very much in these first few turns. All right, I think I want to go Swamp. And let's go Obliterator. No counter. Okay. I was just kind of doing that as a test case, but it kind of slid right on in there. Okay. Well, let's go attacking. Horned Lockwhale. Okay. Well, we're okay on lands. Let's put that on the top. I'm going to go Xander's Lounge. And yeah, let's wait. I think so. We can big score. We know we're going to draw the Obliterator and get a couple of treasures out of it. Blossoming Tortoise, you say? Now, I've been pretty busy lately. I know there's a combo involving the tortoise, and I'm hoping not to get caught unawares by it. So let's try to eliminate that before it can do whatever it is it's going to do here. Third copy of Bombardment. All right, well, we're gonna take the chance that the opponent can't do it yet. Let's get Bombardment on the board while we can still dodge counterspells that they might have drawn. Okay. Now, Tranquil Frillback is one of the best ways to deal with Arcane Bombardment. It feels terrible. It's even worse than Graveyard Trespasser. So, new plan. Let's go for Drag to the bottom and clear the board. Feels like we're essentially starting over after that. I was going to reuse those spells. You just took them. Took them right away. All right. Invasion of Arcavios finds a fading hope. I don't know if that's for our Obliterator or for a creature they want to reuse, but let's try to get another Bombardment down. See if we can't dodge another Frillback from our opponent. Armored Scrapgorger. Well, another annoying card from a Bombardment perspective, but not quite as immediately devastating. Let's do... Does Lightning Strike make the most sense? Yeah, let's just do it. Yep. So Lightning Strike activates Bombardment. And... Opponent decides to use the Fading Hope to save the Scrap Gorger. So maybe they're in desperate need of mana for something? All right, we get dragged to the bottom, under Bombardment, but has no good usefulness for us right now. Invasion of Zendikar from the opponent. Gonna grab them a couple of lands. Well, that should solve your mana problems there. There's not too much you can't cast with that. And Scrap Gorger comes back. All right, well, since you want it so much, let's make you sacrifice it. Keep activating Bombardment here, get more stuff under it. Just a Lightning Strike, really, that we can use right now. Brings our opponent to 14. Well, it's a win condition. Big score, a good draw. I think that's kind of what we need to do here. All right, if we discard Beseech, there's like a 50-50 that we pick it up. Oh, we get the Edict instead. All right, let's point that Lightning Strike at our opponent. Again, not much else in the useful department that we can do. Pick up a couple of swamps. Well, we don't know if we're going to have a target for Go for the Throat. Yeah, let's just slam the Obliterator again. At least we'll have two big things that they kind of have to deal with. Oh, one with the multiverse. Okay. That's what you need that mana for. Oh, Portal to Phyrexia. Okay. Well, so that we know they can get our Obliterator back. But we might be okay with that. We've got Extract the Truth here. We could make them Yeah, we could make them sacrifice the enchantment. So if they're going to keep the portal, at least we can get rid of the one with the multiverse. Big score gets picked up. Let's get rid of the second Bombardment then. Point another Lightning Strike at the face. And I think that's all we can do for now. Big score. Oh, we got the 3 of a kind Go for the Throat. 0 targets unless they pick up our Obliterator. Which they do. Okay. Yep. Can't blame you for that. Oh, and Titan of Industry as well. Okay, well, here's what we need to do. We need to get as much advantage out of this Bombardment before it goes away as we can. We got to Go for the Throat, our Obliterator. Bombardment gets Beseech and Lightning Strike and Big Score. Let's go Lightning Strike at the opponent then. We know they're gaining life, and I don't know if we have enough lands to just straight out corrupt them out. But it will buy us some time. We may just have to do it. Yeah, I don't think we need to bargain. Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to think if Sheoldred would guarantee it, but I don't think it will. All right, I think we decline these because they don't allow us to eliminate the Titan. Okay. All right, so several options. Virtue is good, but it's too slow. I think we need to go for the Corrupt and trust that we can find enough burn to end this game before we lose to this Titan. All right, let's resolve that. So we've got 7 swamps on the board. We can get up to 8 by playing this Lounge. Opponent with a Scrap Gorger follow-up. Okay, all right, I think we got it. All right, let's go Bog. And I think in combination with Beseech, so we can Beseech with Bargain, get rid of 1 treasure. I think we just have enough to do this. We'll pull out our final Lightning Strike from the deck, cast it for free, on our opponent, bringing them to 7. And now we should have 8 swamps in play and exactly enough mana to cast Corrupt for lethal damage. Oh, wow. Good. We just got there. Good game.